It's your boy King Hussle, and this is the best money and credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce, new lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you'll be the first one to be notified. You'll be the first one to know what's going on. And hey, you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on my Twitch, King Hustle Live. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and the Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All you gotta do is click the title on every video. Once you click the title on every video, at the bottom in the description, all my social media links will pop up. All right. Got a lot of fake King Hustle pages out there, so please get a FaceTime verification call or video to make sure you see this face. Make sure you are doing legit business and you are getting what you paid for. All right. And before we get anything started, this is all educational purposes only, not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. Hey. What to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, my real Hustle Nation Empire family members, and we are back at it again with the gems, back at it again with the sauce, back at it again with the information that's going to turn you into a boss. So you're tired of being a zero, you ready to be a family hero? Listen up, take a seat, get your notepad and get your pen, because you already know when I drop these videos, y'all get them notifications. There's going to be some information that's going to help you win. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the evolution of credit card fraud, the evolution of swiping. Um, Fraud and scams has been up 600 to 800% since COVID-19. It's a lot of people out here that's getting into the scam and fraud world. It's a lot of new people. It's a lot of people looking to make quick, fast funds. Um, and that's why they're getting to this field because scams and fraud has been promoted on social media for the past 5 to 6 years. And things change. And it's a lot of people who are now in certain positions that's now resorting to this type of things. So let's get into these gems about the new evolution of credit card swiping. Call it whatever you want to call it, because it's getting real crazy and wild out here when it comes to credit card fraud and scamming and things like that. So credit card fraud, swiping, the evolution. Where did it start and where is it now? So basically, like I tell you guys, wherever there's money being made, there's going to be some type of scam or fraud being committed. And banks are the number one institute where scams and fraud are being committed because banks are institutions that hold people's money, give and gives people money to the millions of dollars. So, and they have different ways of receiving funds from them. So, banks have been the number one target when it comes to some type of fraud or scam resulting to some type of revenue. So credit card fraud. It's a lot of different bank methods out there. First of all, let's get that clear. It's a lot of different bank methods from credit card fraud, check fraud, wire fraud, identity theft, pre-built CPNs, credit fraud. Well, however way you can get some money through a bank, it's gonna be some fraud connected to it. Put it like that. So people get credit card and debit cards. And on these cards, if it's a debit card, it's basically your money connected to your account that you put in there, your own collateral. And a credit card is basically collateral or money that the bank is lending you. So back in the day, we're going to say 15, 20 years ago. We're just going to date it back 15, 20 years ago. Not even that long. 15, 20, 25 years ago. We're going to say it like that. Our cards, the debit, okay, so first of all, in 2000, 1999, 2000, the first prepaid debit card was introduced, the green dot card. And credit card and debit cards there was no chips, and the numbers and the information on the cards used to be embossed. And what does embossed mean? Mean that it's basically indented into the card. So it's like braille. When you touch it, you can feel it as poking out. So that was basically the security for back then for debit cards and credit cards, just having the card embossed. So people used to buy embossers How did they get credit card and debit card information back then? The dark web did exist. Card readers did exist. MXR accesses, those did exist. And people used to utilize those. So people used to go on the dark web. Yes, 25 years ago, the dark web existed. The dark web been around for a very long time. So people used to go on the dark web and buy card information, and then they emboss these cards. But the thing was, you had to the card the gaps and the spaces and everything had to be perfect. Like it had to be on point. So people used to buy information on the dark web. Sometimes the information would work, sometimes the information didn't work. When it did work, they'd probably go to a Best Buy or a Target or a Walmart or a Kmart, buy certain products, and then resell it on Craigslist. Just like that. Then the world evolved to today's world where it's a whole different ballgame because back then there was no such thing as Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, Flipper Zeros, Code Dots. None of these things existed, and these tools are now is now taking fraud and scams to the next level. Because, like I said, when the government puts out certain products and certain things, people find ways to utilize them in different ways. So these flipper zeros, these code dots, they're basically hacking tools, but they're like legal hacking tools. And depending on what you program on there or what boards that you have for them, will allow you to do different things. So 25 years ago, dark web, buy information, emboss the cards. 2026, now you have people still going on the dark web buying information. But now it's to the point where due to technology, due to the evolution of the world, due to the evolution of everything, the knowledge, the new generations, you got new hackers, you got new scammers, you got new fraudsters. They have now figured out loopholes how to one. See, now we're in the world of information right now. Information is valuable. So information can help you get loans. Information can help you get cars. Information can help you get apartments. Information can help you get almost anything that you need. You just have to have the right information. So hackers, scammers, and fraudsters are three different people. Fraudsters are people who steal people's money or goes into people's accounts without their authorization and does the different things. Scammers are people who social engineer, manipulate, trick people, victims into sending their own money. And hackers are the people who penetrate, compromise databases, and steal information. Information could be anything from profiles, fulls, sensitive information, all different type of things. So it's different, three different things. And you got people need to understand that because people think scammers is just everybody who's in this world. No, everybody's not a scammer. Everybody's not commit fraud, and everybody's not a hacker. Three different positions, as you can say. So now with this new generation of hackers, it's gotten to the point where they're using their brain and saying, okay, instead of utilizing those white blank cards, how can we get banks actual debit and credit card templates and make these cards on our own? And now it's gotten to the point where people are on the dark web finding places, forums, sites where you can literally buy banks actual debit cards. Chase Banks, Wells Fargo's, Bank of America's, Navy Federals, Penn Feds, Truist, all these banks, you can go on the dark web and find actual blank debit cards from these banks, meaning that it's the actual debit card from that bank, but it's Nothing on there. Either you can write your own information on there, or the hacker will write the information on there for you. So now it's as if you have a bank account with this bank with the actual card, because people are starting to figure out and understand that going into these places with blank white cards and trying to insert and swipe, that looks suspicious. So their hackers and scammers and fraudsters are stepping up their game, elevating their game. Now, the debit cards. Okay, they got debit cards. There's fake debit cards looking like actual bank debit cards and credit cards. How they're getting the information. Let's go back to the flipper zeros and the code dots and the different tools. There are different tools out there that people are starting to utilize and starting to learn how to use to get information easier. Like I said before, people had to go straight to the dark web and buy information, and hopefully and hope that it worked. Now people are figuring out how to get their own information, or scammers are figuring out how to get certain information. So these tools that I'm talking about, Flipper Zero and Code Dot. Code Dot is fairly new. I just made a video on Code Dot. And these devices, if programmed in a certain way or has a board that's programmed in a certain way, can turn into key fobs, can control lights at traffic stops, can literally compromise information from hundreds of feet away. And what I mean by compromise is, let's say I'm in a store and I got my Flipper Zero or Code Dot. I'm in Starbucks and I'm sitting down on my computer willy nilly and sipping my vanilla bean, you know, little razzle dazzle. And on my laptop, I have this little tool with some antennas attached to it and a board attached to it. But you know, people mind their business, so they're not really paying attention. It's not really just all out in the public, and people. I'm not being suspicious, so ain't nobody paying attention to it. And it's not like out in the public, like it's just not like sitting there like boom. It's fairly hidden, but it's out in the public. And these jammers could start reading anybody's information um from their wallets. So I could be 600, or a scammer or a fraudster could be 600 feet away, 500 feet away, 300 feet away, and read people's information from their wallets with these devices, which makes it easier for people to be, or scammers or fraudsters or hackers to be able to get this information without having to use MSRX6s and put people in position to work at restaurants and drive-throughs to swipe all these cards, or use skimmers at gas pumps and or skimmers at ATMs. They're just sitting back in certain places where they know a group of people, be malls and stuff, sitting down on their computers, and they're just basically compromising people's credit card and debit cards just off a small device. So the evolution of swiping has elevated to the utmost. From you have to go on the dark web to get this information, because there's no other way. Vice Oro MSRX6 and this big box that you gotta have and work third shift and have wait for people to come through the drive through and swipe their cards and do all that, to small devices that can sit back, and anybody who walk past or anybody who you're targeting, or anybody who it picks up without them even knowing, no nothing, you could those devices could read their information. So it's getting real tricky. It's getting real wild out here when it comes to these new tools and these new ways of people doing things, especially with Wi-Fi. Like, listen, anything on a database, anything with a server, anything with that's dealing with coding and systems can be compromised, can be manipulated, can be taken over. And people got to start understanding that our phones, our computers, our Wi-Fi's, any system or database. So With that being said, it's just all about being more safe, being more cautious, and being more aware. Make sure you guys are getting your Norton LifeLock to monitor all your financial accounts and social media accounts to make sure no suspicious or sneaky activity or fishy activity is going on. And it will also monitor the dark web to make sure none of your personal information is on there floating around for people to buy. So make sure you guys are getting your Norton LifeLock. Also, make sure you guys are freezing your credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. They are frozen. Nobody can get anything in your name or do anything with your credit profile. So make sure you guys are freezing those if you're not utilizing them. Make sure you guys are getting new credit card and debit card numbers every so often. We swipe, insert, tap, order online all day, every day, and we probably didn't have the same debit card for years. So just imagine how many places you didn't use that card. And every time you use that card, it's on a whole new database. And there's always a database compromised or hacked. So by getting new cards with new numbers and information, that old card and old information will no longer be valid, and it'd be a fresh start for you and your security for your debit card. All right, so make sure you guys are getting new debit card and credit cards every so often. Um, Make sure there are special wallets that will protect your debit and credit cards from these type of activities, from flipper zeros and code dots. I forgot the name of them, but there are special wallets out there that will protect you from these activities. So just go Google credit card fraud detection wallets, and it'll pop up. So make sure you guys go check. Make sure you guys are getting your Norton LifeLock, freezing those credit profiles, getting new debit card and credit cards, and getting those wallets to help you protect you from these type of fraudulent activities going on in this real world that we live in. It's all about staying more safe, staying more cautious, and being more aware. Because at the end of the day, like I said, this is the real world. These are real things that's happening on a daily basis. And there's nothing I can do. There's nothing we can do. It's just all about keeping yourself safe and aware. All right, so make sure you guys do that, and I'll see you at the next videos. All right, so shout out to all my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, because without y'all, there'd be no me. Y'all motivate me to keep going. Y'all motivate me to keep dropping the sauce, and y'all motivate me to keep y'all entertained. So shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there that's tired of being broke, because it ain't no joke, let's get to work. FaceTime one-on-one limited gems are $1,000, but for limited time only, I'm doing it for 600. Yes, 600 cash app or Bitcoin payment. Once the 600 is in your cash app or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know your payment ready, and we will go from there. All right, no screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions, and please do not yell me. Uh, Make sure y'all book your student webinars Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. 250, 10 seats available. Ask me anything y'all want to ask me. Get help with anything y'all want to get help with. Make sure y'all booking your seat on the crypto tour in person limited gems, 3,500. Make sure y'all booking your seat on the month long mentorship, $1,000. Um, First 10 people, 500. Make sure y'all checking out my vendor platforms on Telegram and the Potato App Millionaire Networking World. Still looking for people for the production company. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit the all notification bell on my YouTube channels, my Twitch, my IGs, TikTok, Snapchat. Make sure y'all checking out the crypto world, because it's changing people's lives. And make sure y'all getting in where y'all fit in with these load ups, $100 and up. We get into the bag. All right, so cash out, Bitcoin payment. Once it's on their balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know your payment ready. We're gonna go from there. All right. Not ready, not send me no screenshot, I will not reply. So keep that in mind. Don't waste your time or mine. All right. So with that being said, it's your boy King Hustle. Y'all know how to get down in these videos. I'll see you at the next lesson video or live. Peace.